and welcome to Sammy Cox Field on the campus of the University of North Carolina, Pembroke. For this non-conference matchup between the visiting Hawks.
Good afternoon, Brave Nation, and welcome to Cox Field. It's the second game of a two-game midweek series between the Braves and the Chowan Hawks. With Annabelle Russell, I'm Cameron Songer. Thanks for stopping by for some Braves baseball action. These two teams taking on the rematch right now after last night's 20-5 win for the Braves. UNCP mashed 24 hits. And the interesting thing to see will be, can they keep it going? Chowan comes in with a 10-16 record, the Braves 19-8 overall, and UNCP riding a 5-game winning streak.
It's exciting. Can't wait to see if they're going to be able to beat that 20-5 like they did yesterday.
Let's get the starting lineup, starting with the visitors from Chowan University. Their head coach is Taylor Furlow, who's in his 5th season at the helm of the Hawks program. Their batting order looks like this. Tanner Woods leads off and plays shortstop, followed by right fielder Carno Arcobasso. Will Gerganis will play second base and bat third. In the cleanup spot for the Hawks is Zach Cooper. Aaron Flanagan is the catcher and bats 5th, followed by left fielder Wade White, DH Josh Martin, third baseman Emery Chop, and rounding out the 9 in the batting order for Chowan is Marvin Harrell, who will be in center field. The starting pitcher for Chowan is number 7, a left-handed pitcher, Will Edwards. He's warming up in the visiting bullpen. We'll tell you more about him when the Braves come up to bat. But first, the Braves starting 9 being introduced here at Sammy Cox Field. And we'll get them to you right now. Starting lineup presented by head coach Paul O'Neill in his 16th season as the head coach in Pembroke. He will have his starters look like this. Sophomore center fielder number 2, Roberto Rivera, leads off. Then it's junior right fielder number 20, Nick Debo. The DH, Stabel Aliman Saba, will bat third. In the cleanup spot is the big returning player for UNCP's team, a team that's filled with a lot of young guys and transfers, but Drew Beaver, back from last year, he'll hit cleanup and play short. Senior first baseman number 52, Christian Snyder, bats 5th. Then it's the third baseman, the junior Hayden Buffkin. Then Nolan Pierce, he's a sophomore left fielder. Junior catcher number 25, Alex Minton, is 8th in the batting order. And then Nick Salisbury, the junior second baseman, will kind of act as that second leadoff guy in the Braves batting order. He's 9th in the batting order, but could be a leadoff guy on a team that wasn't filled with so many dominant bats like UNCP. The starting pitcher for the Braves is number 22, Justin Pegram, the sophomore making his 3rd start of the season. This is his 8th overall appearance. Pegram has an 0-1 record on the bump. In 10 1/3 innings pitched, he's given up 16 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them were earned, struck out 11 and walked just 2. Opponents hitting a pretty robust 372 against Pegram, but he keeps the ball in the strike zone, not a lot of walks issued. And that'll help keep the game moving here. Yesterday's game, obviously, fairly it's on the long end when it's a game that saw the Braves get 24 hits, score 20 runs. That takes a long time. And you better believe Chowan is going to try everything in their power to avoid a repeat performance.
Let's hope so. But at the same time, that must have been a really fun game to watch, to see 20 runs come in.
75 degrees, sunny skies in Pembroke, North Carolina. High winds, however. Right now it's blowing straight out to right field. That can change. Yesterday we saw a couple balls get changed by that wind. Either get knocked down or helped, depending on which way it was hit in the air. Balls out to left field actually suffer because of that. It's a cross breeze. And baseballs hit out to right field. Get an extra couple of feet off of it, perhaps, depending on how hard the wind is blowing, how high it's up there. It actually kind of counteracts the natural dimensions in Pembroke. It's 325 down the third base line, 360 in left center, 400 is straight away center field. A little bit deeper on the right side of the park, 365 in the alley, and 335 down the right field line. We are ready to play ball at Cox Field. Justin Pegram toes the rubber. Tanner Woods digs into the right-handed batter's box. We are ready to go. UNCP baseball taking on Chowan in a midweek ball game. Wind and the pitch, high and outside at 2:59. 3 o'clock right on the dot. Yeah, right on schedule. 1-0. Grounded foul. Woods at the plate is a .337 hitter. He's started in all 26 games for Chowan this year. 29 hits, 4 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs, and 18 runs batted in. Those are solid numbers. Pegram with the windup and the pitch. Hit back up the middle in the air. That drops into center field. A 1-1 swing by Tanner Woods. The first batter has the first hit of today's ball game.
Up next for the Hawks, right fielder, number 2.
So Woods picks up his performance from yesterday after he went 0 for 3 at the plate in yesterday's game. It's a new day for him, and he takes advantage. Woods leads off of first. He's the Hawks' leader in stolen bases with 7. Connor Arcobasso at the plate. He owns a .319 batting average. The pitch, swing and a miss. Looks like Pegram took something off of that one, and Arcobasso was chasing. Arcobasso, the team leader in doubles. He's got 8 of those, so 3 triples and 3 home runs. There's some serious power in his bat. He also leads the Hawks with 19 runs batted in. 0-1 count, a runner on first in the top of the first. The pitch, fouled away to the right side. Working from the stretch, Pegram checks over at first. Woods is safe.
Looks like he wants to keep adding on to those stolen bases.
The 0-2. Breaking ball. Strike 3 looking. Ring him up. Marco Basso out on 3 pitches. Justin Pegram has his first strikeout of the afternoon. And the 12th on the season for the Braves with right-handed pitchers. It's Will Gerganis' turn to hit. Second baseman for Chowan has a .298 batting average, 28 hits, 5 doubles. Feel that double play up. Runner goes, swing, and did he foul that off? As the catcher Minton is shaken up. Looks like it bounced right off of Minton's foot. So Woods has to go back to first. And it's strike 1 on Will Gerganis. More importantly, keep an eye on Alex Minton there behind the plate. Catcher is probably the toughest physical position on the baseball diamond. Obviously, pitchers, you generally don't play 2 days in a row. Sometimes just once a week for starting pitchers. Bunted, behind home plate, and foul. Now the Braves' general starting catcher is Justin Totillo. He played yesterday. See if he comes in later today or if he has the whole day off. See teams switch it up in a doubleheader. Certain catchers work better with certain pitchers. Minton getting the nod here this afternoon. Has a 1-2 count on Will Gerganis. Comes set at the belt. Runner goes. It's swung on, grounded to the left side. Scooped up by Buffkin at third. The throw to first is in time. The fielder's choice, and Tanner Woods advances. Excuse me, not a fielder's choice. It's essentially a sacrifice bunt, a swinging sacrifice. But it's the second out of the inning.
Number 12, Zach Cooper.
So now Zach Cooper, 2 outs and a runner on second. Cooper with his .333 batting average, second on the team in that category, and the cleanup hitter. Now, Chowan did score in the top of the first yesterday, so technically the Braves win, if you want, was a come-from-behind victory. They trailed 1-0 when they scored 3 runs in the first and then didn't look back. Ball called, strike one on Cooper. No home runs for the cleanup hitter, but 6 doubles. 18 runs batted in. Takes strike 2 at the knees. Now he's got to be a little bit more aggressive at the plate. Expand the area he wants to swing at a pitch. It's Woods on second. Pegram on the mound. 0-2, 2 outs. The pitch. Breaking ball. He's able to hold back on his swing. And it's ball 1. Top of the first inning, and Chowan threatening to score the first run of the game again. Pegram from the stretch, the 1-2 offering. Swung on, fouled off. As Cooper checked his swing again there. Couldn't really make up his mind whether he wanted to go on that or not. Pegram's ready to go again. With 2 outs, the 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the left side. Too short on a slow roller. Beaver, the long throw across the diamond's not in time, and it gets past Snyder in the dirt. That will allow the run to score. So that is a single and an error as Cooper stands on second. They'll call that the error on the shortstop, Drew Beaver, on the throw. So it's 1-0 Hawks.
The catcher, 25, Aaron Flanagan.
Flanagan comes to the plate now. 287 hitter on the season. Pitch. Breaking ball in the inside corner, called strike 1. So this is the same situation as the last hitter faced. 2 outs, a runner on second. Difference is the Hawks now playing with the lead. This one grounded right back to the pitcher. Pegram flashes the leather, the underhand toss over to first in time for the 3rd out. But the Hawks score 1 off a pair of hits and 1 Brave error. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. Braves batting for the first time. They trail 1-0.
UNCP error, 1 runner left out on base.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Braves batting for the first time in the bottom of the first. Just like last night against Chowan, they trail the Hawks 1-0 here. They will be facing Chowan starting pitcher Will Edwards. Edwards is a sophomore from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. He's making his 3rd start of the season and his 6th overall appearance. He has no wins, 2 losses, and an 8.04 ERA in 15 2/3 innings pitched. 24 hits, 18 runs, 14 of them were earned. He struck out 6 and walked 11, and opponents, well, they've hit him pretty well, hitting .375 against Will Edwards. And Chowan's played a fairly difficult schedule, but even by their standards, UNCP is a tough opponent. The Braves showed that yesterday with a dominating 20-5 win. And if the offense is saved even just a little bit of that hitting from yesterday. They should be in good enough position. They'll be in position to touch up these Chowan pitchers a little bit and work their way into the bullpen. Should see plenty of offense today from the Braves. This is a program that is known for their ability to put numbers on the boards. They led all of Division II in scoring offense last year with over 10.2 runs per game. Obviously a very different team last year than this year's club after the graduation of more than a dozen seniors. But Paul O'Neill just reloaded with this year's club, and one example of that is the guy in the batter's box right now, Roberto Rivera, the sophomore center fielder, with a .395 batting average thus far this season. Also 8 stolen bases and 18 runs batted in. First pitch to Rivera is high and outside. Can also reset the Chowan defense for you. In the outfield, it's Wyatt Harrell and Arco Basso from left to right. 1-0 pitch grounded to the shortstop, Woods. Woods gathers, throws just in time, and beats Rivera as Rivera grounds out to the shortstop for the first out of the inning. Also in the infield for the Hawks, it's Chop at third, Gerganis at second, Cooper at first, and Flanagan behind the plate, as Will Edwards is on the mound for the Hawks.
Right fielder number 20, Nick Devo.
Nick Debo went 3 for 5 at the plate yesterday with 2 runs batted in. Swings and fouls this first one off the umpire. That's the second time we've seen a ball now fouled off of somebody behind the plate. Nick Debo, a .343 hitter. The guy who started every game so far for UNCP. 22 runs batted in, is second on the team. 4 home runs, tied for the team lead. Also has 4 doubles and a triple. So yeah, he can hit a little bit. Wind up the 0-1. Debo crushes it down the first base line. Foul ball.
That might have been the wind that moved it.
You know, it didn't get very high, but it's very possible. That would, you know, that would take, you know, real scientific analysis of, you know, all the different forces, you know, whether it was spinning the right way, because it was so close. I mean, another inch or two, and that, you know, that knocks some chalk dust up in the air, and that would indicate a fair ball. 0-2, misses outside. The 1-2 from Edwards is in the dirt. Edwards with the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Debo fights it off, pops it up, shallow center field. And the shortstop Woods calls off Gerganis and makes the catch. So he came over onto the second base side of the bag and made the catch. So the Braves timing up this pitcher Edwards pretty well, just not quite able to find some real estate to drop a ball in. We're down to 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Something of unfamiliar territory for UNCP is playing from behind. Isabel Aliman Saba now at the plate, the Braves' top hitter, batting in the DH spot and number 3 in the batting order. Owner of a .435 batting average, which actually went up after yesterday's game. He came in hitting .420 yesterday. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Mentioned yesterday, it is difficult to improve on a batting average over 400, but Aliman Saba went 3 for 5 at the plate yesterday. Looks another breaking ball. This one just misses. Edwards picking at the corners here against the very dangerous Aliman Saba. Here's the 2-1. Aliman Saba tags it towards right field. It hangs up there. Arco Basso camps out under it and makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for the Braves in the bottom of the first. We're through one frame at Cox Field. It's 1-0 Hawks. 6, 7, and 8 to up this inning for Chowan. As we begin the top of the second inning, the Hawks owning a 1-0 lead over UNCP. As Justin Pembroke gets his warm-up tosses in on the mound for UNCP. He'll face Wade Wyatt, Josh Martin, and Emery Chop. The importance of the leadoff man getting aboard shown last inning. Tanner Woods started with the single, and then Zach Cooper brought him in. There was also an error on the Braves shortstop, Drew Beaver, last inning. That's really all the action we've had so far. The Braves went 1-2-3 with a couple fly balls, one ground out as well. So it's Wade Wyatt at the plate. We begin action in the second inning. Wyatt, a .278 hitter, looks at a breaking ball, ball one called. Wyatt, another Chowan player who started every game for the Hawks this year. 22 hits, 4 of them were doubles, 1 home run. 7 runs batted in as he grounds this one foul to the left side. 1-1. Out in front of that curveball again. He was very off balance as he tapped it towards the Braves dugout. Pegram winds and throws the 1-1. This is high and inside. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled off to the right side, high up in the air. Snyder giving chase. Will it stay in the field of play? He makes the catch. Christian Snyder showing off the range over at first base. Lost his ball cap, had to fight off the sun, and made the play.
Up next for the Hawks, designated hitter, number 22, Josh Martin.
Got dangerously close to our camera over there along the first base side. We can't really see it from up here in the booth, but it looked like that was pretty close. This one fouled off to the right side again, but more obviously out of play. It's Josh Martin at the plate for Chowan. He's the designated hitter this afternoon, a .262 hitter at the plate for the Hawks. Yesterday he was behind the plate as Chowan's catcher and went 0 for 4 as a hitter. Lines this one into left field past the outstretched glove of Drew Beaver. And has a 1-out single, the 3rd hit of the ballgame already for the visitors.
Third baseman, 31, Emery Chop.
Emery Chop now, the Chowan third baseman, and a .208 hitter, making his 10th start of the season. So something of a milestone, double-digit starts. Pickoff throw over to first, a good move by Pegram to throw a little bit offline. Otherwise, he might have had a chance at getting Martin. Martin with just 1 steal on 1 attempt this year. Strike 1 at the knees. I wonder if Chowan might be up to something here. This bottom part of their order is fairly weak. You got Emery Chop at .208 and Marvin Harrell at .190 on deck. See if they try something on the base paths to accelerate their offensive process a little bit. Maybe a hit and run. Maybe just a straight steal. Chop took that for strike 2. Another pickoff throw. Back in safely. The 0-2. Big breaking ball, stays high. One, two. That's high. It gets away from Minton all the way to the backstop, and extra base there for Josh Martin as he trots over to second. Little things here costing the Braves, an error and a wild pitch already in this game. The 2-2 popped up to the right side. Snyder again gives chase. This appears to be playable, and he has it. Zips the throw back into the infield. So 2 straight outs for Chowan, recorded in foul territory, and nice catches by Christian Snyder.
Center fielder, number 5, Marvin Harrell.
Both of them got dangerously close to our outfield camera. I know personally that once it gets towards you and you see it and you have no idea what's going to go on, you feel like you're about to get hit, and you try to make sure that the first thing you do is save that camera.
This one popped up again in foul territory to the right side. This one not nearly as close to our camera. Marvin Harrell pops out to end the inning. 4 up and 3 down for the Hawks in the top of the second. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. Braves still trail 1-0.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Drew Beaver leads things off for the Braves in the bottom of the second. He'll be followed by Christian Snyder and Hayden Buffkin. That's 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order as they try to figure out Chowan starter Will Edwards, who retired the side in the bottom of the first. It's 1-0 Hawks as they look for revenge after yesterday's 20-5 Braves win. Beaver shows a bunt, pulls it back, and that misses inside, ball 1. Beaver hitting .283 on the season, 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in, 5 doubles and a triple. Gets this bunt down the third base side, scooped up by the pitcher. The throw over to first in time. Drew Beaver trying to bunt for a hit, can't get it done. So that's a little bit of a surprise. Have the cleanup hitter in your batting order, a guy who's leading off an inning. Beaver is a good hitter and is quick as well, but pretty rare to see trying to bunt for a hit like that. Last game, yesterday, Drew Beaver came up in the first inning and hit a 3-run homer. Here's Christian Snyder. Takes ball 1 up high. Snyder is hitting .352. Excellent start to his senior campaign in Pembroke. 25 hits, 3 doubles, and 3 home runs. 15 runs batted in. Takes strike 1 there. One of those home runs coming last night. One of the plays of the year for UNCP. Just an absolute rocket from Christian Snyder. Another big swing. Misses. It's 1-2. Edwards working quickly. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's high for a ball. See if Snyder shortens up his swing a little bit or continues to try to swing for the big one. Lined up the 2-2, and that just misses. Pretty close. Count runs full to Christian Snyder. Lefty-lefty matchup. It's Will Edwards the pitch. Snyder pops it straight back and foul. Again with the payoff pitch. Grounded to second. Gerganis to it off the high bounce. Throws over to first. And that's the second out. What a departure from yesterday's game where the Braves batted around in just one inning, but with 2 outs in the second, they were at basically the same spot in the batting order, but it was their second trip through, as the Braves had already scored 6 by the time there were 2 outs in the bottom of the second last night. They haven't had a base runner yet.
Seems like whatever the Hawks are trying to do, it's working.
Buffkin swings at the first pitch, grounds it foul down the left field line. Plenty of time to think about it. The Hawks, rather than staying in a hotel, they actually made the 3-hour trip back to Murfreesboro, North Carolina, and then drove back again today for this game. So they've had a lot of time to stew over that 20-5 loss, and gives them a chance to think about what went right, what went wrong. Get fired up for today's game. And on the flip side, UNCP, you win a game like that, it's easy to sort of relax a little bit coming into a game like this where you're playing the same team again. You think it'll just be the same result, the same game. As Buffkin grounds it to short, Woods to it. A low throw picked out of the dirt by Cooper, and the Braves again go 1-2-3 in the second. Through 2 innings in Pembroke, it's 1-0 Chowan. Top of the order coming up for the Chowan Hawks in the top of the third. Hawks leading 1-0 over the UNCP Braves. As these teams do battle again after yesterday's Braves victory. A season-high 20 runs on 24 hits. And it's been the complete opposite offensively for the Braves so far, as they haven't gotten a single base runner through the first 2 innings. Chowan with 1 run on 3 hits. They've also taken advantage of 1 Braves error. Top of the order now, Tanner Woods, product of Newport News, Virginia, and Menchville High School. Looks at a first pitch high for ball 1. He has a younger brother on the team as well. Hunter Woods is a freshman. Tanner Woods is a junior. The younger Woods not in the starting lineup, but we saw him play a little bit yesterday. 1-0, low and outside. Third inning of work here for starter Justin Pegram. Delivers a strike there, making it 2-1. No action right now in the Braves bullpen. The 2-1 swung on and missed. But Pegram, this is his 3rd start, but 8th total appearance. He's usually more of a relief pitcher in terms of the conference series over the weekend. Getting the start here in the midweek game. We'll see how long he's allowed to go. 2-2, swung on, grounded to third. Buffkin to it, and he drops it. So that's an error by third baseman Hayden Buffkin, the Braves' 2nd error of the game. And it allows leadoff man to get on base for the Hawks.
The right fielder, Connor Arcabasso.
left side of the infield for the Braves. Been 2 errors so far. A throwing error by Drew Beaver in the first allowed a run to score. Here's Connor Arcobasso at the plate, native of Jefferson City, Missouri. Ground ball hit to short. Beaver goes to second for one. The throw to first, not in time. Just a fielder's choice as Arcobasso beats out the throw with a pretty tough double play turn, as it was kind of a slow roller to Beaver. They didn't get to him in a hurry. Allowed the runner an extra split second to get up the first base line. Will Gerganis to the plate now. Senior from Williamston, North Carolina. Riverside High School. The pitch. He hits it well in towards left center field. Pierce on the run. He gets to it. Now throws back to first, trying to double him off. And the slide looks like knocks the ball out of the glove of Christian Snyder. Would have been a pretty close play over at first. But what a throw from Nolan Pierce. He had his momentum with him, and that obviously helped a little bit, but got it back to first in a hurry. So 2 outs now, and Zach Cooper at the plate. Cooper's a junior from Franklinton, North Carolina, and a transfer from Campbell University. Swings at the first pitch, grounds it to short on the high bounce. Beaver to it. The throw to first is in time. So the Braves' early error doesn't cost them as they take care of business in the top of the third. Braves come up to bat in the bottom of the third, still looking for their first base runner. They trail Chowan 1-0.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Nolan Pierce will lead things off for the Braves in the bottom of the third, followed by Alex Minton, then Nick Salisbury, the bottom 3 hitters in the Braves order this afternoon. And they'll get their first crack at Chowan starter Will Edwards, who's been stellar so far. Doesn't have any strikeouts, doesn't have any walks. He's trusted his defense, and they've picked him up. 6 up and 6 down so far for the Braves. Can they change that here? Sophomore Nolan Pierce will get it started. He started all but 1 game for the Braves this year. In the outfield, a .330 hitter. 29 hits, 8 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. This is the kind of guy you want to see leading off an inning for your team when you're trailing. 1 run on 3 hits and no errors by the Hawks. Braves with no hits, no runs, and 2 errors. Breaking ball drops in over the plate, strike 1. The windup, the pitch from Edwards. Misses low and outside as Pierce lays off. The 1-1 offering. Runs inside. Pierce liked the look of that. Started to go around, then realized how close it was to hitting him. The 2-1 pitch. Pierce fouls it off to the right side. That might have been the pitch to hit in this at-bat. Now with 2 strikes, Pierce going to have to fight off some pitches here. The 2-2. Just inside. Looked like Will Edwards was ready to start celebrating a strikeout there on the mound. Now the count's full. Low windup and the payoff pitch to Pierce. Hit in the air to the right side. He goes opposite field, drops it into right field. There's the single and the first hit of the game for UNC Pembroke. Sometimes it just takes one to get things started for a team, and the Braves, they seem to kind of be a feast or famine team at the plate. When things are going well, they are really going well, and sometimes they'll just struggle at the plate for some extended stretches. One of the things talked about yesterday was 20 runs in a game. Can you save some of it for this one? Bottle it up and just wait. We're a little slow starting here this afternoon. Ball one called to Alex Minton. Braves catcher owns a .235 batting average this season. He's got 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in. Just 34 at bats, so he certainly got some pop. Edwards working from the stretch now with Pierce on first. There's another breaking ball. It's low. Fished out of the dirt by Flanagan. He holds it, ready to throw over to first. Trying to get Pierce to go back, and he does. The 2-0. Ooh, the check swing and hit right into the net. Minton did not want to swing at that. Lucky that's just a foul ball. Nolan Pierce, by the way, 0 for 2 on stolen base attempts this year. Takes a fairly conservative lead off of first. They'll check on him anyway, and he's back in standing up. 2-1. Grounded foul right into the Chowan dugout. Look out. Well, the guys up on the rail knew it was coming. The guys who were kind of sitting back in the back of the dugout maybe didn't get a chance to see, and suddenly there's a baseball coming at your head. When you ask your teammates, hey, can somebody knock that down next time? Bring a glove to hang out on the rail. Another pickoff throw to check on Pierce. Again, back in, standing up. Lefty-lefty matchup with Will Edwards on the hill. Alex Minton in the batter's box. The 2-2 will have to wait as he goes back over to first with the pickoff throw. 1-0 is the score. Chowan struck first in the top of the first inning. Braves looking to come back here in the bottom of the third. 2-2 pitch. Stays high with the breaking ball. Full count to Braves catcher Alex Minton. Edwards delivers a pitch. Runner goes. It's hit in the air towards right field. Going back towards the wall is Arcobasso, and it's gone. A 2-run home run for Alex Minton, and the Braves go up 2-1. Minton has his 3rd home run of the year and his 7th and 8th runs batted in. And just like that, the Braves out in front.
Someone is about to win a free dinner. Whoever is the loudest will be our winner, so make some noise.
Shows you the importance of getting ducks on the pond for your power hitters.
Second baseman number 1, Salisbury.
Get that leadoff hit. The pitcher is preoccupied with keeping the runner on first. Makes one mistake pitch, and the Braves take the lead. Here's Nick Salisbury. He swings and misses at the first pitch. Salisbury, a .315 hitter, does have 3 home runs, 5 doubles, 2 triples among his 23 hits. 0-1 breaking ball, filthy one, called strike 2. Wind up the 0-2 in the dirt and outside. The The pitch. Hit right back up the middle, into the air, into center field on a couple bounces. Nick Salisbury keeps the hit parade going with a single. So after the first 6 guys couldn't get a single base hit, numbers 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order, they all have hits. But that's got to fire you up a little bit as one of the top hitters. Usually the last 3 hitters in a batting order are the weaker guys in your batting order, guys who, they're more out there for defensive purposes. Nick Salisbury says, forget that, I'll give you a base hit. Back to the top of the order we go. Roberto Rivera, sophomore from Millville, New Jersey, and a transfer from St. Augustine's. Takes that first pitch for a ball. St. Augustine's a conference opponent in the CIAA against Chowan. Rivera not getting the playing time, not the opportunity he wanted there at St. Augustine, so came over to UNCP, where he's started the season at shortstop. They moved him out to center field. He's also been the leadoff hitter for the last couple weeks. He's been good. 2-0. He's high and outside. Kind of hard to argue with a .395 batting average. Salisbury takes his lead off of first. Edwards comes set and delivers the 3-0 get-me-over fastball for a called strike. Middle of the infield, Woods and Gerganis at double play depth. The corners of the infield in. Pickoff throw checking on Salisbury. He scampers back. Stretch the 3-1, and that's ball 4. Walk number 19 this season for Roberto Rivera. He's the team leader in that category. Now runners on first and second, still no outs in the bottom of the 3rd. With Nick Debo coming up to the plate, we'll get a timeout, and Chowan will meet on the mound. Still no action in the Hawks bullpen, so they're going to let Edwards work his way out of this. Nick Debo comes to the plate. We're ready to go again. The hold from Edwards. Now the pitch. Debo shows bunt, pulls back, and it's called a ball. Looked like the infield was not expecting that. And all kinds of things he can do with moving this infield around, as Woods at short, Gerganis at second. They're thinking about potentially covering for a double play. But they also have to be ready to cover the corners. As this one gets laid down, looking over to first as has to be the throw. And it's a sack bunt for Nick Debo. I was thinking that perhaps, because of the way he was forcing the middle of the infield to have to go cover the corners, he would pull that bat back and then try to hit it back up the middle, as the entire infield would have been to the corners. He makes the conservative bunt, gets runners over to second and third, and Stabel Ali Bonsaba to the plate. Now you have 2 guys in scoring position for your best hitter. In a 1-run game, that's the Braves playing by the numbers. Ali Bonsaba swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. Stabel Alimansaba, a junior from Richmond, Virginia, transferred to UNCP from Patrick Henry Community College. The stretch, the 0-1. And Alimansaba crushes it to right field, a towering fly ball, but foul. I made it all the way out to the softball bleachers behind the right field fence. If he can straighten that out, it is a no-doubt home run. But he was just a little bit too far in front of it. 0-2. This time to the left side, foul over the Braves dugout. Salisbury stands on third, Rivera on second. Stabel Alimansaba at the plate. The 0-2 pitch, grounded to third base, a diving stop by Chop. He goes over to first with the throw. Alimansaba's out, a run scores, and then heads up base running by Rivera. He's over to third. It's 3-1 UNCP.
The shortstop, Drew Beaver.
Now the 7th hitter to come up this inning for UNCP is cleanup man Drew Beaver. Beaver, a graduate of North Davidson High School, Lexington, North Carolina. High and outside pitch, ball one called. The stretch, the 1-0. Beaver chasing a changeup, low and outside, but he swings and misses. One pitch. Breaking ball that forgot to break. Curveball with no curve, whatever you want to call it. It's ball 2. Two-one. Beaver hits it high and deep to left field. Wyatt gets out under it. As the wind knocks it down, the left fielder makes the catch, and the Braves are retired in the bottom of the third. But they do score 3 runs, thanks to a 2-run homer by Alex Minton. Through 3 innings at Cox Field, it's 3-1 UNCP. Top of the 4th inning at Cox Field in Pembroke. The Braves leading the Chowan Hawks 3-1. With Annabelle Russell, I'm Cameron Songer. Thank you for joining us on the Braves Broadcast Network. As the Braves will be hitting the road this weekend. Go to Young Harris for a Peach Belt Conference Series. And this is not the last broadcast this week, though, on our YouTube channel. We'll be back in action tomorrow, just across the way from LRA Field. UNCP softball will be taking on Limestone College in a doubleheader. First pitch of that doubleheader at 4 p.m. So we'll see you then, Braves fans. Mark your calendars. Make plans. Flanagan grounds this one past the third baseman and the shortstop, swing at the first pitch, and Aaron Flanagan has a leadoff single to start the Hawks in the top of the 4th. Good swing, not wasting any time. A redshirt junior catcher who didn't play in yesterday's game. He wants to get involved here, and he does just that. Hawks have 1 run on 4 hits, but no errors. Braves with 3 runs on 3 hits, but 2 errors. Here's Wade Wyatt. Justin Pegram still on the mound. He goes headhunting there, high and inside. Wyatt ducks out of the way. Wyatt is a senior from Greenville, South Carolina, transferred from North Greenville University. Wrapping up his collegiate career at Chowan. 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, called a strike. So that is the very definition of mixing up location on your pitches for Justin Pegram. First pitch nearly hits Wyatt in the head. Second pitch, you come back low and outside. Takeoff throw goes over to first, and he throws it away. Off the fence, Snyder couldn't get a glove on it. Now Flanagan rounds second. He's looking for 3. The throw back across the diamond, and it hits him. Now he wants to try to score. Chasing it down, Buffkin. He's going to go home with the throw, not in time. And a run scores for the Hawks on a pickoff throw to first. Well, that was just bad. There's really no 2 ways about it.
Bad for the Braves.
It's just bad baseball.
Yeah.
Two errors on the play by UNCP. It's now 3-2. There was an error on the Braves pitcher on the bad throw over to first, and then the second error on the attempted connection between Snyder and the third baseman Buffkin. This ball skied out toward right field, back towards the wall. Debo makes the catch for the first out. Josh Martin steps in for the Hawks now. He's the designated hitter. Senior from Hayes, Virginia, fouls off the first pitch to the right side, out of play. Breaking ball misses, so it's 1-1. Pegram's pitch is hit in the air towards shallow left field. That drops in for a hit. The 5th base hit of the ball game for the Hawks. This game looking a lot more competitive than last night's 20-5 win for the Braves. UNCP certainly hasn't helped their own cause with the 4 errors now. But that's baseball. It's the kind of the go-to saying for a lot of managers and coaches at any level of baseball. It's a weird game sometimes, and a lot of it is just how you respond. Swing and a miss by Emery Chop. 0-1. Chop is a junior from Newport News, Virginia. Stretch, the 0-1 pitch, high and outside. Pickoff throw to first, diving back in safely is Martin. Yeah, Josh Martin played catcher yesterday for the Hawks, went 0 for 4 at the plate. Now he's the DH, and he's 2 for 2. High and inside the pitch to Emery Chop. Pegram comes set. Pitch runner goes. Swing and a miss. The throw over to second. Offline, not in time anyway. Josh Martin swipes second base. So Chop swung at what would have been ball 3. He did that just to kind of distract the Braves enough, and well, it seemed to work as Minton missed fairly badly on the throw. 2-2, 1 out, runner on second for Chowan. That is the tying run standing on second base. Breaking ball, did he go? He did, strike 3. Second strikeout of the game by Justin Pegram. He hasn't walked any, but a couple wild pitches, a throwing error by the pitcher. And this is a close game. Marvin Harrell at the plate, the number 9 hitter for Chowan. He's 0 for 1 at the plate in this one. Redshirt junior from Harrellsville, North Carolina. Ball 1 misses high. Harrell briefly flashed a bunt. That would be, what would they say, a bold strategy with 2 outs. 1-0. Misses high again. Two-0. Swung on, chop to third. Buffkin gets to it, goes with the throw to first in time for the out. The Hawks score 1 on a single and then some errors by the Braves. We're through 3.5 in Pembroke. It's 3-2 UNCP.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Christian Snyder will lead things off for the Braves in the 4th. He'll be followed by Hayden Buffkin and Nolan Pierce. So the Braves try to keep the good hitting going from last inning. They scored 3 runs to take a lead. As the Braves come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th, they're up 3-2 on the Chowan Hawks. Braves riding a 5-game winning streak right now. They've got on the season now 19 wins. The goal for the season is 30 or more. A streak that's been alive for a decade now for UNCP. This young Braves team doesn't want to be the ones to break the streak. Christian Snyder, the senior from Liberty, North Carolina, facing an 0-1 count. Swings, grounds this one to first. Picking it out of the dirt is Cooper. He has it on the run and just tags the bag as he goes. Another one that, as a coach, will give you gray hair because he didn't try to block that with his body at all. If he had missed it with the glove, that's getting past him. And Christian Snyder would have been on base. But he reached out and found it, and there's one away. Hayden Buffkin now, native of Laurinburg, North Carolina, by way of Florence Darlington Tech. He's a junior. Stands in the right-handed batter's box, 6'3". Fouls off the first pitch, just barely got a piece of it foul. Wind up the Edwards pitch, blown outside. Wind up 1-1. Buffkin tags it towards right field. Going back towards the wall is Arcobasso. It's gone! Solo home run, Hayden Buffkin. Make it 4-2 Braves. Fourth home run of the year for the Braves, Hayden Buffkin. And the second homer of the game for the Black and Gold. So with one out, the base is empty. It's Nolan Pierce's turn to hit. He singled to lead off last inning. Came around to score on the Minton home run. Now it's 4s across the board for UNCP. 4 runs on 4 hits and 4 errors. Chowan with 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors. Pierce gets a hold of one into center field. Harrell slowly inches in on it and makes the catch for the second out. So here is Alex Minton, that 2-run homer last inning. And right now the difference in this game. Redshirt junior from Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Came to UNCP from Catawba Valley Community College. Lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch from Edwards. This is low. The windup firing the 1-0 pitch, and it's fouled off. That looked like that could have been headed out of the yard if he had straightened it out. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2, 2 outs. 4-2 Braves lead in the bottom of the 4th. The pitch to Minton, swing and a miss. And there's the 3rd out. The Braves score 1 run on 1 hit. It was a solo home run by Hayden Buffkin. And through 4 innings, it's 4-2 UNCP. The tall freshman takes over on the mound for UNCP. It's Hank Simpson, 6'8" freshman from Holly Springs, North Carolina, taking over in relief of starter Justin Pegram, who went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, which were both unearned, walked 1 and struck out 2. Excuse me, no walks for Pegram out there on the mound. But the 2 strikeouts he did have, and as the Braves ahead, that's really all you can ask for from a starting pitcher. Hank Simpson will take over here starting the 5th, and Chowan will have the top of their order coming to the plate. It'll be Woods, Arcobasso, and Garganis.
the fifth inning for Chowan. Top of the order, shortstop Tanner Woods.
Tanner Woods, 0 for 4 yesterday. Excuse me, 0 for 3. He walked and was hit by a pitch. 1 for 2 today. Reached on an error last time up in the third. First pitch from Simpson is low. The 1-0 is over. 1-1. Grounds this one right back to Simpson. Quick reflexes. He has it. Throws over to first. There's the out.
The right fielder, Connor Arcabasso.
Here's the right fielder, Connor Arcabasso. 0 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice last time he came to the plate in the third inning. He had the big hit yesterday for the Hawks, had a 3-run homer. Gets a lot of contact on this one, drops it into right field as it dropped quickly on Nick Debo. And Arcabasso has his first hit of today's game.
Second baseman, Will
Arcabasso
Gerganis.
was 2 for 4 yesterday, scored 2 runs, drove home 3, so he's had a good midweek series against UNCP. But it would have taken a lot more offense than just Arcabasso to hang with the production the Braves had last night. 24 hits, 20 runs in a runaway victory. Will Gerganis now to the plate. He's 0 for 2 and takes strike 1. Gerganis had 1 hit yesterday. Grounds this one to second. Salisbury goes to Beaver for 1. No throw over to first. As the Braves cut off the lead runner at second base for the second out. Gerganis is aboard after the fielder's
First
choice.
baseman, Zach Cooper.
So it's Zach Cooper's turn to hit now, the first baseman. 1 for 2 today. Yesterday's game, Cooper was 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Pitch. Fastball misses outside. Wind really picking up, blowing to right center field at Cox Field. 1-0. Grounded up the middle, takes a high bounce off the mound and skies into center field. Tough play for Beaver, as he would have had
Next
to
for the Hawks,
really elevate to try to catch that one.
Flanagan.
And then would have had to try to gather and make a throw. So Cooper gets the lucky bounce. He has a 2-out single. Runners on first and second. Aaron Flanagan, the catcher, and potential go-ahead run at the plate. Flanagan 1 for 3 yesterday. 1 for 2 today. He scored that run last inning. He had the leadoff single. And then after there was supposed to be a pickoff throw, well, that's when the wheels came off for the Braves, and he ended up coming around to score on that attempted pickoff. Not a highlight for the Braves season reel. 1-0. Ball 2 called. Simpson's pitch. Misses outside again. Pretty tight strike zone here this afternoon. Yesterday, the sun went down, the temperature started dropping, and magically the strike zone started expanding, as though the umpire was acknowledging that it was starting to get cold outside. And I can't blame him. Get me over pitch here makes it 3-1. over the course of the season, it seems like strike zones have gotten smaller as the temperature has generally gone up here in Pembroke, spring arriving. Those early February games, man, they're tough for everybody. Ground ball hit to third. Buffkin, the throw to first, and there's the final out of the inning. So 2 singles in the inning for Chowan. They can't make anything happen with it. We're halfway through this one. It's 4-2 UNCP.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Nick Salisbury, the leadoff hitter for UNCP, here in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 4-2 Braves lead against the Chowan Hawks here on the Braves Broadcast Network. With Annabelle Russell, I'm Cameron Songer. Thanks for stopping by, letting Braves baseball be a part of your afternoon. Will Edwards still on the mound for Chowan. Getting a couple extra warm-up tosses in here for this inning. Hawks needed a handful of different pitchers to get through yesterday's game, including number 24. Just remembering that. Including 34, Jack Downham pitched yesterday. He's listed as an infielder on their roster, so that kind of tells you a little bit of how the game went for Chowan. You figure it might be because they're trying to save arms for today. But Will Edwards he's been decent, giving up the 2 home runs and 4 runs so far through 4 innings. Salisbury swings and misses there. It's 0-2. But you just look at his numbers and you recognize that he's averages just 3 innings per appearance. This will be his 5th inning if he makes it through. Salisbury takes this one outside. One-two pitch to Salisbury. Pops it up straight behind home plate. This will get out of the field of play and into the bleachers.
Good thing those bleachers were a little empty. Most of the Hawks players have been behind the home plate, so if they were more over behind on the right side, they would have been hit there.
Nick Salisbury goes down swinging, and yeah, it's you look at the way Sammy Cox Field is set up here. It's a pretty high net behind home plate, and the bleachers don't extend too deep, so you figure you're pretty safe in the bleachers from foul balls. Doesn't mean you can take your eyes off the action, of course, but you look into the bleachers and handful of people on their phones, and you know, you never know. People sitting just a couple feet away from where that ball ended up landing. I don't know if I would be on my phone right now if I just watched that happen. I'd be a little freaked out. Berto Rivera at the plate. Fouls this one off to the right side, and the count goes to 0-2. Rivera walked the last time he came up. He's 0 for 1 officially at the plate today. We're back at the top of the order. Braves beginning their 3rd cycle through the batting order with 1 out in the 5th. The windup. Edwards with the 0-2 pitch. Grounded back up the middle. Edwards reaches for it, can't come up with it. A diving Gerganis can't come up with it. It's a single for Roberto Rivera. That one had eyes. Under the glove of the pitcher, past the glove of the second baseman. Roberto Rivera will take it. His first hit of the game. And it brings up Nick Debo. Debo also 0 for 1 today. Made an out in the first and had a sac bunt in the third. Rivera takes his lead off of first. They will throw over to first, and he's back in standing up. Rivera 8 of 9 on stolen base attempts this year, but more than half of his steals have been of third base rather than second. Another pickoff throw. And he's safe. Now the pitch. High and inside on Debo. Now, Debo's a pretty dangerous hitter, so you don't want to give him too much to hit, but if you're concerned about a base runner, a guy potentially stealing second, you leave stuff up so that your catcher doesn't have to go in the dirt and then come up to try to make a throw. Edwards is worried about Rivera there. Steps off the mound to look at him. Rivera stays put with his lead. The pitch. Debo hits it high and deep to right field. It's gone. Nick Debo with the 2-run blast. The third home run of the game for the Braves, and he doubles the lead. 6-2 Braves. Ball's been jumping off the bat into right field. The Braves are making a killing out there. And Nick Debo has his 5th home run of the year. He takes sole possession of first place on the Braves leaderboard in that category.
Next for the Braves, designated hitter, Stefel Aliman Saba.
After that last swing, now we'll get to see some people making their way from the Chowan dugout to the bullpen. Looks like number 17, Trey Harper, will start to get loose. Stefel Aliman Saba at the plate, and he pops one up to the right side. Gerganis, the second baseman, in shallow right field, under it for the out.
The shortstop, Drew Beaver.
Braves had 4 home runs yesterday, including a back-to-back tandem from Christian Snyder and Justin Totillo. 3 homers today in 3 innings. Minton had one in the 3rd, Buffkin with one in the 4th, now Debo in the 5th. You take away the home runs, the Braves only have 1 run in this game. So fortunately, we're not taking away the home runs. Drew Beaver at the plate, he's 0 for 2. Takes strike 1 there on the outside corner. The 0-1. Beaver skies it to right back up the middle. It'll be the shortstop, Woods. That one didn't even get to the dirt of the infield. 3rd out of the inning. But the Braves score 2 on the blast by Nick Debo. After 5 innings in Pembroke, it's 6-2 Braves. Hank Simpson back on the mound for a 2nd inning of work for the black and gold. Top of the 6th at Cox Field. UNCP leads Chowan 6-2. Annabelle Russell, I'm Cameron Songer. Thank you for joining us for Braves baseball as they take on a North Carolina in-state opponent. Non-conference action for the Braves this afternoon. They'll be back in conference play over the weekend as they go to Georgia to take on Young Harris. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 this inning for the Hawks. Wyatt, Martin, and Chop. Last inning, Simpson got into a little bit of trouble, gave up 2 hits. But the Hawks couldn't plate any runs. 7 hits in the game for the visitors, just 6 for the Braves. Also 4 errors by UNCP, but they have a 4-run lead where it counts. First pitch in there for a strike on Wyatt. Oh, 1 outside. Wind up the 1-1 pitch, hit right back up the middle, and Simpson has it. What a play. So 1 out as Wade Wyatt can't get a break. He's 0 for 3. Josh Martin, on the other hand, is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Righty-righty matchup. Simpson fires low and outside. Swung on, fouled back. Strike 2. Excuse me, 1-1. One pitch. Laced into left center field. That drops in. Rivera cuts it off in center field. And it's a 1-out single for Josh Martin. He's been on the money today for the Hawks. He's 3 for 3 with 3 singles. He's got 3 of their 8 hits. He hasn't scored any runs, but wow, if everyone was hitting like him, the Braves would be in trouble. Emery Chop digs into the right-handed batter's box now as the Braves infield shifts to double play depth. The 0-1. Grounded to third. Buffkin drops the ball. He can't get to it. And that's another error on the Braves, their 5th. Tell you what, Paul O'Neill's not going to be pleased with that, and the Braves will probably spend some extra time taking infield practice at their next practice, because 5 errors in what's now 5 1/3 innings is just unacceptable. That's just way too many. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Infield will remain at double play depth. We go to the number 9 hitter, Marvin Harrell, who's 0 for 2. Simpson comes set at the belt, looks over his shoulder, and the pitch. In there for a called strike. 1-1, 1 out, 2 men on base for the Hawks. Simpson's pitch misses outside. From the stretch, Simpson's pitch. Called a strike. Two. Hit high and deep towards left center. Pierce goes back, watches it drop between him and Rivera. Now the throw comes into third, everybody's safe. So you can't really call that an error, but definitely a miscommunication between Pierce and Rivera as it dropped right between them.
They just stared at it while it fell right between them.
And if they didn't have to get the ball back in the infield, they probably would have stared at each other a little bit too. So now Minton will come have a word with Hank Simpson. As this is a tough spot for a freshman pitcher. His defense really hasn't helped him out that much this inning. Bases are loaded. Back to the top of the order we go with some of the most dangerous Chowan hitters. And the Hawks threatening again. Top of the sixth, the Braves up 6-2. And now Paul O'Neill will come out to the mound, and we might get a pitching change. The meeting on the mound is over. No pitching change yet. I think Paul O'Neill wanted to talk to his entire infield. If he could have talked to his outfield as well, he probably would. You got a freshman pitcher on the mound right now. Help him out a little bit. At the same time, we're also just potentially one pitch away from getting out of it. Corner infield in. Middle infield shading towards second base. Tanner Woods at the dish. He's 1 for 3. Simpson's pitch. Called a strike at the knees. Chowan with 2 runs on 9 hits and no errors. Braves with 6 runs on 6 hits and 5 errors. Not your everyday box score there. Woods calls time. Now steps back in. 0-1. Misses low. One. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Simpson with his long hold. Now the pitch. Oh, that was close. Some strong winds now blowing out to right field. See if Woods can get under one. Swings and misses, and that's a big out for Hank Simpson. So it brings up Arcobasso with the bases loaded. Arcobasso's 1 for 3 at the plate today. After he went 2 for 4 yesterday with a 3-run homer. He represents the tying run at the plate right now. And the first pitch misses low and outside. Arcobasso is second on the team with 3 home runs. Also leads the Hawks with 19 runs batted in entering today's game. 6-2 Braves lead. The 1-0 stays high. Simpson knows he can't fall behind. 3-0 to this batter. No place to put him. And this will probably be a fairly nice pitch for Arcobasso to try to hit. From the stretch, the 2-0. In there for a called strike as it nips the outside corner. Two-one offering on the way. In the dirt for ball 3. Will Gerganis waiting on deck if the Hawks can keep this inning alive. Force out at any base on a ball hit to the infield. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. RBI walk for Connor Arcobasso. And it's 6-3.
Second baseman, Will Gerganis.
Gerganis is 0 for 3, so he is due. Guy who's been batting right around 300 all season. This ball grounded towards short, takes a high bounce over the head of Beaver. 1 run scores, 2 runs will score as the throw comes in late. Now looking over to third for the out, throw offline. And just like that, it's a 1-run ball game. 2-run single for Will Gerganis. Arcobasso with the aggressive base running. He takes third over from first. Harrell scores from second. Chop scores easily from third.
First baseman.
Now 12 hits in the game for the Hawks. They're doubling up the Braves in that category. Tying run now 90 feet away. Go-ahead run on first. Zach Cooper at the plate. He's the 8th different batter to come to the plate this inning for the Hawks. I'll correct the scoreboard to say 10 hits now for Chowan. That sounds a little bit closer to realistic. Still hard to believe the Braves have fewer hits. But the Hawks have left some guys on in every inning. They have not gone 1, 2, 3 in a single inning. Ball 1 called to Cooper, who's 2 for 3 at the dish today. Simpson's pitch at the letters for a called strike. One. Skied to left center field. Hooks back towards center. Rivera gets to it and makes the final out. But the Hawks score 3 runs. They've turned it to just a 1-run game again. Braves will come to bat in the bottom of the 6th, looking for some more insurance. It's 6-5. We'll be right back.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student-athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
It'll be Snyder, Buffkin, and Pierce due up this inning for the Braves. And this has not been the same fun offensive output that the Braves had yesterday. 20-5 win last night. The Hawks coming back today. They have 5 runs again, but the pitching for Chowan has been much better. The defense better, and the Braves' defense has frankly been worse. They've committed 5 errors. Will Edwards staying on the mound. They're staying with the starter, Chowan is. And he's run into trouble the last couple innings after going 2 perfect innings. He gave up 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 2 in the 5th. First pitch in there for a called strike to Christian Snyder, who's 0 for 2 at the dish today. Buffkin is on deck, who homered last time up. Nolan Pierce in the hole this inning. Ball 1 called, and on the throw back to Edwards, it gets away from him. One pitch on the way. Snyder, big cut and a miss. One, two, swing and a miss, and Christian Snyder goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the day, third strikeout of the day for Will Edwards. And there's 1 away in the 6th. Hayden Buffkin now, he's 1 for 2, homered last time up. That was in the 4th, a solo shot. And he repeated here. First pitch low. 2 two-run homers for the Braves, the 1 solo home run. Yesterday they had 2 solo home runs, a 2-run homer. And this one deposited into left field, off the wall. Now looking for second, he's got it standing up. A 1-out double for Hayden Buffkin. Braves look to be back in business again. Actually 5 home runs yesterday, 3 solo jobs, a 2-run homer and a 3-run homer, and 3 homers today. That's 8 home runs across 2 games. That's a lot. Doing something right at the plate. Nolan Pierce now to the plate. Runner on second and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. He looks at a breaking ball for a called strike. Well, 8 home runs in 2 games for the Braves, but also 6 errors in those 2 games, 5 of them coming today. Pluses and minuses all over the board. If the Braves can add to what's right now a 1-run lead and ultimately hold on, I'm sure Paul O'Neill will take it, and the head coach of the Braves. Notice this is a young, somewhat inexperienced team. As Pierce swings and fouls this one off to the right side, out of play. A couple weeks ago he said that if the NCAA would allow it, he would play every day and get those in-game reps. Because there's really no substitute. You can try to simulate games in practice. You can work on some other things, but there really is no replacement for game experience. The 0-2 breaks too much into the dirt. He's blocked by Flanagan. Edwards will now be working with a 1-2 count to the Braves left fielder. Nolan Pierce from Scotland High School, Laurel Hill, North Carolina. Sophomore. 1-2 pitch. He fouls this one off again to the right side and out of play. Pierce wasting a couple pretty good pitches from Will Edwards, and that pitch count starting to get up there for the starter. stretch. 1-2 pitch. Big breaking ball gets away from Flanagan. Going for third is Buffkin, and he has it. Wild pitch there. Now the Braves' potential 7th run just 90 feet away. The stretch, the 2-2 pitch as the infield comes in. Pierce knocks it into left center field. Getting to it is the center fielder Harrell. Now Buffkin tries to go and the throw gets cut off. Now back into third. That fly ball was not deep enough to score him from third. And it's the second out of the inning. So Buffkin didn't get a good jump on it in terms of trying to tag up, and Harrell just rifled that ball back in. It's a good thing that Buffkin didn't try to score and actually was able to get back safely. There was no good going to come of that. So it's on Alex Minton now. Grounds the first pitch foul to the right side. Minton 1 for 2 at the plate with a 2-run home run. Struck out last time he came up. That was in the 4th. 6-5 Braves lead. They've got a runner on third, 2 outs. 0-1 pitch. Minton flies it straight up. It's behind home plate. Will it stay in play? The catcher can't get to it. That ball carried all over the place by the wind. Also fighting off the sun there.
All the elements were not in his favor to catch that.
So it falls harmlessly to the turf behind home plate. Minton stays alive. Edwards. Pitch. Just misses outside. Chowan's infield was making their way over towards the dugout. I thought that was strike 3. The 1-2. Minton tried to check his swing. He wasn't able to. It's a dropped strike. The throw over to first pulls the first baseman off the bag, and the run scores. Well, you don't see that every day. I'm not sure if you call that a throwing error on the catcher. There's a wild pitch and a swinging strikeout. Minton doesn't get credit for the RBI. The run scores. It's 7-5 Braves. So I guess that just makes up for the weird run that Chowan was able to score when there was a runner on first. The Braves had a pickoff throw that got thrown away, and then another throwing error as it came back in that allowed a run to score. That's a run scored on a wild pitch and a dropped third strike. Salisbury lines one past the second baseman into right field. Holding up at second is Minton. The 8th hit of the game for the Braves. They trail by 2 in the hit column. They lead by 2 in the runs column. Salisbury has his 2nd hit. And it looks like this will be the hook for Will Edwards as Chowan head coach Taylor Furlow comes to the mound. Pitching change here for the Hawks. We'll be right back on the Braves Broadcast Network. UNCP leads 7-5. New pitcher for Chowan is number 17, Trey Harper, sophomore from Lenoir, North Carolina, by way of West Caldwell High School. Hands on the pitcher's mound at 6 foot 3 inches, and he's a right-handed pitcher. He'll take over for Will Edwards, who went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, 7 runs, walked 1, and struck out 4. So I think more than he probably expected to go today, and gave up some runs, but he also got plenty of run support from his team. Harper inherits a situation with runners on first and second, 2 outs, and Roberto Rivera at the plate, top of the Braves batting order coming up. And he needs to operate carefully, where this one will be broken wide open. Rivera is 1 for 2 at the plate. Has a single and a walk in the last 2 times he's come up. Fastball called a strike as Rivera takes. Roberto Rivera came in just a hair under 400 on the season. Hit here would get him right close to that number. The 0-1. Nasty breaking ball, but missed the strike zone. One count. The pitch. Missed below the knees. It's 2-1 now to Rivera. Harper's ERA, 39.27. Imagine that's not in many innings. He's gone 3 2/3 innings so far this year, and this one comes way inside on Rivera. And again, filed under small sample size, but opponents hitting .545 against Trey Harper this year. So you can see why the Braves were probably a little disappointed that it took them so long to get starter Will Edwards out of the game. Once you get to the Hawks bullpen, there's some guys the Braves can take advantage of. Breaking ball high for ball 4, and that walks the bases loaded. Minton is at third, Salisbury on second, Rivera on first with his second walk today, and here comes Nick Debo.
Up next to the Braves, right fielder Nick Debo.
Nowhere to put him. Debo is 1 for 2 at the plate today. Last time he came to the plate, he had a 2-run homer. Pitch to Debo, runs inside, called ball 1.
This is going to be interesting to see with the bases loaded and 2 outs and one of our best hitters. See what's going to happen with this.
1-0. Debo grounds it to first, takes a high bounce up to Cooper. He has it and tags the bag, and crisis averted for Chowan. The Braves do score 1 in the inning, but they leave the bases loaded. We're through 6 innings at Cox Field. 7-5 Braves lead.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
New pitcher for UNCP is number 14, Kyle Ramsey, junior from Weaverville, North Carolina, by way of Catawba Valley Community College. He takes over for Hank Simpson, who went 2 innings, gave up 5 hits, and saw 3 runs cross the plate last inning. But that inning started with an error. Well, it really got rolling with the error. As The Braves have committed 5 in this game. They're certainly not a team known for their outstanding defense. Obviously, a much more offensively minded club, as evidenced by their 20-run outburst yesterday. But you still have to be able to field your position and not give away outs, not give away extra chances. And it's been a problem for the Braves today. They've allowed the Hawks to hang around. Now, just by watching yesterday's game and watching today's game, I think it's fairly obvious the Braves are the better team. I don't think they're 15 runs better per game. Obviously, the Braves just were clicking yesterday. I think Paul O'Neill knew it too. Post-game, he talked about how important it was going to be for the Braves to come out ready to play today, and it took them a little while to get started. They didn't score until the 3rd inning. They trailed 1-0 after the Hawks. Well, they came to play. You know, they want to prove they're better than the 20-5 loss they took yesterday. So things sort of equalizing here today, coming to a normalized kind of numbers, and let's see if the Braves can hold on down the home stretch. Kyle Ramsey taking the ball in the 7th inning. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 coming up this inning for the Hawks. Aaron Flanagan to get things started. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Resetting the Braves defense, it's Pierce, Rivera, and Devo in the outfield from left to right. Buffkin at 3rd, Beaver at short, Salisbury at 2nd, Snyder at 1st. Behind the plate is Alex Minton and Kyle Ramsey. His first pitch misses low and outside. The windup, the 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a called strike as Flanagan started to duck out of the way like it was going to hit him. And then it curved right back into the strike zone. Gorgeous 75 degrees in Pembroke, North Carolina, sunny skies. In this late March non-conference matchup. Strike 2 swinging. So Ramsey's now come with back-to-back big curveballs. Wind up 1-2. Just misses out the corner on the fastball. Not surprising that after back-to-back curveballs inside, you'd come with a fastball outside. Just couldn't spot it right where he wanted. 2-2. Swing and a miss on the changeup. 1 up, 1 down. Kyle Ramsey off to a good start with a swinging strikeout.
Updates for the Hawks. Left fielder, Wade Wyatt.
So here's Wade Wyatt, who's 0 for 3 in this one. He had a pair of singles yesterday in going 2 for 3 with a walk. Wyatt came into this game with a .278 batting average. Looks at a curveball there for a called strike as it comes in right at the letters. Wind up Ramsey's 0-1. Another breaking ball called a strike. As it fools Wyatt again. It starts out just a tad inside. Doesn't have a ton of lateral motion to it, but gets over the strike zone. That's all that counts. Oh, 0-2 pitch on the way. Fastball high and outside, trying to get Wyatt to chase. He would not. Wyatt, the transfer from North Greenville University. The 1-2 pitch to him. Grounds it back up the middle, through into center field. With 1 out, Wade Wyatt has a single. The 11th hit today for the Hawks of Chowan. 5 runs on those 11 hits, no errors. Braves with 7 runs, 8 hits, and 5 errors. Josh Martin now. And he has been H-O-T hot. 3 for 3 with all singles.
Josh Martin.
Designated hitter in today's Hawks lineup. And hitting 7th, he's trying to make a case to move up in the batting order. Anytime a guy gets 3 hits in a game, he's in the bottom 3rd. You got to think about moving him up, right? I don't know. First pitch misses high. As the middle of the Braves infield shades to that second base bag. Ready to turn a double play here, get out of the inning. White is on first. The pitch, low and outside. A great effort by Minton to stop it. Caught it cleanly as well. Otherwise, that was going to get to the backstop and would have moved the runner up. White does have 2 stolen bases on 3 attempts this year. 2-0 pitch on the way. Runner stays put. And the fastball misses low and inside. 3-0. Ramsey with the pitch. And that's a 4-pitch walk. No doubt about that one. Most of them not even that close. So now 2 men aboard. And the potential go-ahead run to the plate in the form of Emery Chop. Chop is 0 for 3 today. Reached on an error last inning and ended up coming around to score in that big 3-run 6th inning. Allowed Chowan to come back in the game. Pitch, breaking ball, called a strike. As that fooled Emery Chop there. He bailed out on it. And then at the last second turned and watched the ump call a strike. From the stretch, the 0-1. Strike 2 called at the knees on the outside corner. Another excellent pitch from Kyle Ramsey. Braves still thinking about the double play ball on the ball hit in the infield. Outfield shaded just a little bit to the left side. Call Chop a pull hitter then. Swings through this one, fouls it off. And behind the plate, Minton can't hold on. So it's a foul ball.
Everybody clap your hands.
Runners on first and second. 1 out in the top of the 7th. 0-2 count. The Braves up by 2 runs. The pitch. Low and outside. Five o'clock chiming here on UNCP's campus. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous day for a ball game. Hardly a cloud in the sky, 75 degrees. Can't ask for anything more than that. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Emery Chop is the second strikeout victim of Kyle Ramsey's, and there's now 2 away. So to the number 9 hitter we go, Marvin Harrell. First and second, 2 away in the top of the 7th. Not sure if the Hawks are going to get too many better opportunities than this. Pitch, Harrell takes at the eyeballs, ball 1. Ramsey stretches, throws. Ball 2. The 2-0 offering. At the knees for a called strike. Two 2-1. Low and outside. A walk here would load the bases and send us back to the top of the order. That is not what Kyle Ramsey wants to do. Also can't deliver a meatball. And what's now a close game. 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 looking. So the runners will be off on this next one. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Braves leading 7-5 in the top of the 7th. Here we go, a big pitch coming up here. Ramsey throws. It's laced back up the middle. Ramsey hit it in the air. It bounces on the mound. After it bounced off his glove, it looked like. Everybody's safe. Ramsey got a piece of it, then couldn't locate it, but it popped straight up in the air off his glove.
Looks like it hit the back of the glove, and once it hit and it bounced, he went straight behind him, and he didn't even notice it.
It would have been a sensational play if he had seen where it was and then tried to reach out and get it. But hard to blame him for not recognizing that and not being able to see it. So the bases are loaded. Tanner Woods to the plate. He's 1 for 4 at the dish today. Leadoff hitter. Opportunity to come through in a big way, a big swing and a miss.
That would have been great. That would have been the second ball caught by the pitcher, because Hank caught it
A couple innings ago, yeah.
yeah.
The 0-1. Curveball, strike 2 looking. Feels like it was actually last inning to lead off the 6th. That seems like such a long time ago because the Hawks put up a 3-spot that inning. 0-2, 2 outs, bases loaded in the top of the 7th. Braves clinging to a 7-5 lead. The tying run is on second. Go-ahead run is on first. And the Hawks' best hitter at the plate. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball low and away, trying to get him to chase. He would not. Tanner Woods entered the game as the Hawks' top hitter with a .337 mark at the plate. Singled in the first, hasn't done anything since then. 1-2 pitch. Just misses inside. Woods kind of scooted backward to emphasize the point that it was inside. Some umpires don't appreciate that. A little bit of acting there. Stretch, the 2-2. Strike 3 looking. Kyle Ramsey gets all 3 outs via the strikeout and works out of a bases-loaded jam. 7th inning stretch time at Cox Field. Braves up 7-5 over Chowan. Bottom of the 7th now for UNCP. The Braves leading Chowan 7-5, and a new pitcher again for the Hawks. Number 3, Troy Bettinger, freshman from Chesapeake, Virginia, at a Deep Creek High School.
Number 3, Troy Bettinger.
So he replaces Trey Harper, who went a third of an inning and didn't allow the Braves to score when he inherited a jam situation. Kept things where they were, but then the Hawks were able to take that momentum and convert it into a run last inning, leaving the bases loaded. A lot of what-ifs for both teams in this game. We reset. Chowan with 5 runs on 12 hits, no errors by the visiting Hawks. Braves with 7 runs on 8 hits, but they've committed 5 errors, and it's cost them a couple times. Bettinger, the lefty, delivers the first pitch high, ball 1 to Stibel Aliman Saba. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. The real meat of the Braves order here. Ali Monsaba, Beaver, and Snyder coming to the plate here in the 7th. Changeup catches the outside corner, evens the count at 1-1. Ali Monsaba is 0 for 3 in this one. Did knock in a run on a ground out in the 3rd. Out in front of another changeup, tips it into the mitt. That's strike 2. Yesterday, Ali Monsaba was money, 3 for 5. Swings, fouls this one off to the left side, out of play. Bettinger winds and throws. Ali Monsaba skies this foul to the right side. A towering, long foul ball. And that got to the softball field. Wow. He hit that ball a mile. Too bad it was foul. 1-2 pitch. This time in the air to right center field. That is trouble for the Hawks as it's in the gap. Ali Monsaba looking for second. He'll be in standing up. A leadoff double for the Braves designated hitter. Stibel Ali Monsaba does it again. It's his 5th double of the season. He's just been so good at the plate. Actually, a better clutch hitter. Generally doesn't do so well when leading off an inning. His average for the season is over 400. His average when leading off an inning is below 150. So that tells you a lot about how he does in what you would call, I guess, more clutch situations. Now Drew Beaver to the plate. He's 0 for 3. And Beaver gets a piece of this one out towards right field. Going back is Arcabasso. He makes the catch with his back to the wall. Ali Monsaba will tag up and reach 3rd. So 1 out, and the Braves have a runner on 3rd base. Christian Snyder to the plate. He's 0 for 3. As much as the Braves, want to keep mashing home runs, they already have 3 of them in this game. They had 5 last night. In a 2-run game, they need to find a way to get this run across. Small ball it if you want, get another sac fly. But every run feels pretty important in this game. 7-5, Braves lead. Ball 1 called to Snyder. Bettinger working from the 3rd base side of the rubber. The pitch breaks into the dirt for ball 2. (2-0). Fastball low for ball 3. Couple of guys getting loose in the visitor bullpen, as well as one in the UNCP pen as well. See how long they let Bettinger work if he doesn't have it going. Fastball just gets it over as the bat stays on the shoulder of Christian Snyder. It's 3-1. The pitch. That's low for ball 4. So 5 pitches. Snyder doesn't need to swing at any of them, and he has a walk. For Snyder, it's his 8th walk of the season. He's a guy who really likes to get up there and swing the bat. When he does work a count, he'll often just end up swinging at one anyway if it ends up getting deep in the count. But that time, Bettinger couldn't really get close with any of his pitches, and Snyder, in that case, will take the free base. Runners at the corners now. Hayden Buffkin comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3. A pair of runs scored, solo home run, and a double. Hayden Buffkin with those 2 hits has pushed his average up to .302 on the season as of this at bat right now. hold. Bettinger comes home with the pitch. Breaks low, ball 1. Chowan infield at double play depth. They can turn to and end the inning right here. And Bettinger keeping stuff low in the zone to try to induce that ground ball, but those last 2 pitches too low. Snyder on first, Aliman Saba on third. The pitch to Buffkin. Low and inside, make it 3-0. Out of the last 8 pitches, 7 of them have been balls from Troy Bettinger. Make it a little bit easier on your hitters, on the hitters you're facing. You can't throw strikes. 3-0 pitch. Fastball on the outer half for a called strike. The pitch to Buffkin. Gets away from the catcher. Flanagan bounces to the backstop. A run will score on the walk. And it's 8-5 Braves. That's a big insurance run. Brings up Nolan Pierce, and got to imagine he just watched the previous 2 hitters walk. He's not going to be in any hurry to swing the bat. Pierce is 1 for 3 at the plate today with a single and a run scored. Eight to 5 Braves lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Troy Bettinger tries to get his control back on the mound. Timeout called, and he might not get a chance to. We'll get a mound visit from Chowan head coach Taylor Furlow.
My name is Pam.
Are you saying Pan or Pam?
I'm saying Pam. Yeah, I'm sorry, who is this gentleman sitting behind you?
Hello, Ms. Lady.
I don't see anybody leaving the bullpen right now from Chowan, so it looks like they will stick with Bettinger for now, but he's gotten himself in a jam.
With an M. There's no D. It's Pam.
It's like calm.
Here, it's P.
P-A-N-M.
M. No, there's just one M. I think we've had enough
Shut for
here.
1 second. Shut.
Oh, now there's somebody coming in from the bullpen, and we'll get a pitching change here for the Hawks. We'll be right back on the Braves Broadcast Network as the new pitcher warms up. New pitcher for Chowan is number 1, Bailey Lipscomb. the 5'9" sophomore right-handed pitcher from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, First Flight High School, as he replaces Troy Benninger, who went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, allowed 1 run, walked 2, struck out none. Recapping this inning so far, Alimont Saba led off with a double, then Beaver flew out, Snyder walked, Buffkin walked, and that Buffkin walk included a wild pitch that allowed Alimont Saba to score. Runners on first and second. It'll be Nolan Pierce coming up to bat. Just 1 out, and the Braves up 8-5. On the Braves Broadcast Network, I'm Cameron Songer with Annabelle Russell here this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Braves baseball, non-conference game against the Hawks from Chowan University. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow, but it'll be from LRA Field just across the way. Braves softball as they host Limestone College. More non-conference action as both of the Braves baseball and softball teams will be on the road this weekend in conference play. But plenty of midweek activity to bring you. Nolan Pierce looks at a breaking ball from Lipscomb, ball 1. Chowan is 10-16 this year. The Braves 19-8. And this ball hit well by Pierce to left center field. Going back, it is gone. A 3-run home run for Nolan Pierce, and the Braves jump out to an 11-5 lead. And that changes things. This went from being one where the Braves looked at trying to add an insurance run or two in a fairly tight game. Now it's a 6-run game again. And that's breathing room.
Looks like they're trying to beat their score from yesterday.
They still have some work to do if they want to do that. Yesterday was 20-5, and the Braves now presumably won't be batting in the bottom of the 9th, so they would need to score. They need to increase their scoring pace, let's put it that way. Nolan Pierce comes up huge. It's the Braves' 4th home run of the game. Debo had one in the 5th. Buffkin had one in the 4th, as this one's grounded to first. And tagging the bag is the first baseman, Cooper. Minton had one in the 3rd that got the home run party started. But that was the biggest one in terms of runs scored, but also just importance in the game. Nolan Pierce, a 3-run blast in the 7th. Here's Salisbury, takes high for a ball. Nick Salisbury's 2 for 3 today. Pair of singles, he also struck out once. To wind up the 1-0 pitch from Lipscomb. And it's low for ball 2. And we can close the book on Bettinger now as he ends up giving up 3 runs, as 2 of the runners that scored on the Pierce home run were the responsibility of the previous pitcher. 3-0 pitch on the way. Fastball in there for a called strike. Lipscomb having some of the same command problems that his predecessor Bettinger had. And the one mistake pitch that Nolan Pierce capitalized on. There's a 5-pitch walk. Salisbury never needed to swing. And the Braves have another base runner. Back to the top of the order, Roberto Rivera. He's walked twice, and otherwise he's 1 for 2 today. He's watched a bunch of walks already this inning. There's already been 3 walks issued by Chowan pitchers. Rivera says, I don't want to swing the bat here. Salisbury runs, it's grounded to short. Scooped up by Woods, the throw to first is in time. And the Hawks get out of the inning, but not before the Braves score 4 thanks to a 3-run homer by Nolan Pierce. We're through 7 innings in Pembroke, 11-5 UNCP leads.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Another pitching change for the Braves. They'll bring on Alex Britt. He is their closer, and he was warming up last inning because it was going to be a save situation, and then the Braves exploded for 4 runs last inning. As we get started here in the top of the 8th. So they'll let Britt get some work here, and there's still more action going on in the Braves bullpen. We'll see if Britt ends up going both of these remaining innings or just the one here. Alex Britt, junior right-handed pitcher from Lumberton, North Carolina, out of Fairmont High School. And he is somebody the Braves really trust to take over in clutch situations. This is no longer a crunch time situation. Nolan Pierce to thank for that. The 3-run homer last inning drastically changed the complexion of this game. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Hawks in the 8th. Connor Arcabasso. Arcabasso, he's 1 for 3 at the plate today. Does have a run batted in. It came from an RBI walk in the 6th. So Britt working on the mound. His first pitch is grounded to third, past the outstretched glove of Buffkin into the corner. Arcabasso digging for 2, and that was a very good placement of that ball. Leadoff double for Connor Arcabasso, as that ball tight-roping along the third base line. 13th hit of the afternoon for the Hawks. They have the lead in that column, 13 hits to 10. The Braves' lead is 11-5 in the runs column. Here's Will Gerganis. He had a 2-run single last time up in the 6th. Otherwise, just outs for him. He's 1 for 4 at the plate. We'll stop and take a look at that runner on second. No throw made because no one's covering. Resetting the Braves defense for you. Pierce, Rivera, and Debo in the outfield from left to right. Buffkin at third, Beaver at short, Salisbury and Snyder on the right side of the infield, Minton behind the plate. And Alex Britt throws this pitch that's skied out towards center field. Rivera doesn't have to move very far for it. He'll make the catch, throw it back in. And Arcabasso had a little stunt run there like he was going to come home, and then chose not to go to third. Unproductive out there for Gerganis, and it brings up Zach Cooper, who is 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. Britt's pitch. Called a strike. Cooper started to go around, took it back, and then ended up being called a strike anyway. 0-1. Fouled off to the right side. Stretch the 0-2. Big breaking ball, just misses high. One, two. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. And there's now 2 away in the Hawks' half of the 8th.
Coming to the plate for the Hawks, the catcher, Aaron Flanagan.
Aaron Flanagan now to the plate. He's 1 for 4. Did score the one time he reached base in the 4th inning. Fastball missing outside. That was the play where they tried to pick him off of first base. It was thrown away. He ended up going to third, and then Snyder, the first baseman, throwing over to third to try to get him, threw that ball away. And a play that I can best describe as something you would see at your local Little League. The 1-0. Swung on, fouled off to the right side. Braves have committed 5 errors today, but they're still in a position to win thanks to their sluggers and just timely hitting. Swing and a miss there. It's 1-2 to Flanagan. Britt with the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to short. A high bounce up on Beaver. He reads it, throws over to first in time for the out. Through 7.5 at Cox Field, Braves lead Chowan 11-5. Bottom of the 8th, last chance for the Braves to add to a 6-run lead. It's 11-5 here at Cox Field. The Braves and the Chowan University Hawks wrapping up a brief 2-game set in the middle of the week. These teams last played in 2014 when the Braves won both games of a doubleheader against Chowan. They didn't play last year, and the Hawks were over 500 last year. They were 21-20, 9-7 in the CIAA. Braves were 38-13 a year ago. It's the Braves right now at 19-8. If this result holds, they'll go to 20-8, which is actually a little bit off the pace of where they've been through 28 games the last few years. The last 3 years, they were all 21-7 through 28 games. And The Braves, though, all of those years did get to 30 wins, so win number 20 is a nice milestone for the season, but the Braves have more work to do. Nick Debo at the plate takes outside for ball one. Debo's 1 for 3 today. He has a sac bunt, and more importantly, a 2-run home run that came in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch from Lipscomb is grounded over to third. Chop can't handle it. There's an error by Chowan. We finally have an error up on the board for the Hawks. Their first of the game versus the 5 the Braves had. E5. So the Braves have a 7-5 mark in Peach Belt Conference play. That's what ultimately matters more than your total number of wins. As the Braves got 38 wins a year ago, but just missed the cut in the NCAA tournament. I'm sure UNCP would rather have the win total go down, but get a berth in the NCAAs than just win a bunch of games for the sake of winning games. Runner goes, Ali Mansaba fouls it off, and Debo will have to come back. 0-1 the count to Stibel Aliman Saba. It's 1 for 4 today. Doubled last inning to get the 7th started and came around to score. Big 4-run 7th inning that helped the Braves break it open. Aliman Saba fouls it straight back for strike 2. So the last 3 years, the Braves were 21-7, 28 games into the season. If they win today, they'd be 20-8. That's still remarkably consistent. Pickoff throw over to first. Debo nearly tagged out. Good move shown by Bailey Lipscomb. Aliman Saba digs back in, faces that 0-2 count. Bottom of the 8th with the Braves up 11-5. Aliman Saba hits this one right back up the middle to straightaway center field. Harrell has a read on it and squeezes for the first out. Hitting it to the deepest part of the yard. Smell Aliman Saba. Somewhat frustrating day for him. Guy who came in hitting .435. Ends up going just 1 for 5 at the plate today. Here's Drew Beaver. He's over 4. That's been guys other than the real heart of the Braves order. Expect the 3, 4, 5 hitters to be the ones who really come up big for you. But the 3, 4, and 5 hitters today for the Braves have just 1 hit between the 3 of them. Ball 1 called on Beaver. It's been other guys who have stepped up for UNCP. Hayden Buffkin has 2 hits, including a homer. Nolan Pierce has 2 hits, including a homer. Nick Salisbury has a pair of singles. Debo goes, the ball misses, and the throw over to second, it gets, looked like kicked out of the glove as Debo came sliding in. Either way, Woods couldn't hold on to it, and it's a stolen base for Nick Debo. That's a big one as it turns off the potential double play. 2-0 the count to Drew Beaver. Glance over the shoulder from Lipscomb. And now the pitch. Low and inside. .3-0. Strike 1 called. That looked a little bit low from up here. It dropped off at the last second. .3-1 pitch. Well, Beaver will have to wait. Drew Beaver, the junior infielder from Lexington, North Carolina. This is a 3-1 count against pitcher Bailey Lipscomb. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Actually got a piece of it tipped into the catcher's mitt, so it counts the same as a strike. And the count goes full. Snyder waits on deck. Braves lead 11-5, bottom of the 8th inning. Payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Looked like it was a little inside, but Beaver not taking any chances. Again with the 3-2. Missed outside, and Beaver earns the walk.
First baseman Christian Snyder.
So the Braves up by 6 right now. And given that they have Alex Britt, who presumably will come back out and pitch the 9th, should feel pretty confident. But more runs never hurts. Pickoff throw over to second, and he is out. Caught leaning the wrong way. Nick Debo picked off. So erase the runner from second base. Now just one man aboard. Drew Beaver on first as Christian Snyder steps back in. The pitch. Low and inside. Snyder waves the bat behind his back, and a big swing fouls it off, 1-1. Stretch the 1-1 pitch. Low and inside, and a solid block behind the plate by Flanagan. Pickoff throw over to first. Dancing back in safely is Drew Beaver. Two-one pitch to Snyder. Stays high. Bailey Lipscomb, the sophomore right-handed pitcher with the pitch. It's low for ball 4. And so Beaver was ready to steal, had a pretty good jump. He gets the base without a throw because it was a walk. Back-to-back walks now issued by Lipscomb. And it brings up Hayden Buffkin.
Third baseman Hayden Buffkin.
First pitch to Buffkin is low, and again, Lipscomb can't seem to get those pitches up and into the strike zone. A problem for him as he's had to rely on a nice pickoff move to get one of his outs this inning. 1-0 offering. Swung on, fouled off. A little surprising that Buffkin had the green light to swing there. A lot of times after a pitcher gives up in 2 consecutive walks, you're expected to just keep waiting for a pitch you really want to swing at. Maybe Buffkin really wanted to swing at that. It was a little inside. 1-1. Swung on, fouled off again. The stretch, Lipscomb with the 1-2 pitch. And that plunks Buffkin on the elbow, but they will say he didn't make an effort to get out of the way. So call it ball 2. Two-two pitch. Swung on, grounded to third, but foul. Two outs, 2 men aboard. The pitch hit back up the middle. It hangs up in the air, and getting to it is the center fielder Harrell for the 3rd out. Braves can't add to their lead in the bottom of the 8th. We'll go to the top of the 9th. Braves lead 11-5 over Chowan.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
New pitcher for UNCP here in the 9th. It's number 24, Daniel Batts. So it was just 1 inning of work for Alex Britt, and Batts will be the 5th different pitcher the Braves have used today.
Attention fans, defensive change for the Braves, now pitching 24.
The starter, Pegram, went 4, Simpson went 2, Ramsey had 1, Britt had 1, and now Batts will presumably get his inning as well. The term you hear for days like today is called a staff day. Let multiple pitchers go and get their innings in. Now, Batts and Britt are both guys who are what you would also call back of the bullpen guys. They trust them. They will come in late in the game and will come in crunch time. So a little bit surprising perhaps that they're getting some work here today. But on the flip side of that, the Braves didn't play Sunday because of their series against Georgia Southwestern was rearranged a little bit. They played 2 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, none on Sunday. So they could potentially go a full calendar week without getting any game reps. So Paul O'Neill wants to make sure his key guys are getting, not getting rusty, I should say.
Wade Wyatt.
It'll be Wade Wyatt to lead things off for the Hawks in the 9th. It'll be Wyatt, Martin, and Chop to up this inning. 6, 7, and 8. As Wyatt goes inside out, flies it to right field. Debo on the run, misread it a little bit, had to leap up at the last second, made the catch. And the Braves just 2 outs away now from win number 20 on the season.
Designated hitter, Josh Martin.
Now Josh Martin, the designated hitter, he's 3 for 3 with 3 singles and 1 walk. He has been a problem for Braves pitchers. Let's see if Daniel Batts can figure him out. The pitch is a fastball at the knees for called strike. That's always a recipe for success, is start with the first pitch strike to any hitter. The 0-1. Swung on, fouled off to the right side, out of play, 0-2. Wind blowing out to right center. I mean, the right-handed hitter has to go opposite field with one to get the boost of the wind. The windup, the pitch from Bats, high and outside. From the windup, Bats is 1-2 offering. Strike 3 looking on the inside corner. Somebody finally figured out how to get Josh Martin to make an out. He goes down looking. So 2 away in the top of the ninth.
Emery Chop.
It falls on Emery Chop to keep this game alive for Chowan. Chop is 0 for 4 today. 2 strikeouts. He takes that first one for a called ball. Bats winds the 1-0. Swing and a miss. A mighty cut there from Chop. Comes up empty. Now the 1-1. Strike 2 called. So here we go. Bats with the 1-2 count. He winds and throws. Strike 3 looking, and the ball game is over. The Braves win. 11-5 is the final score as the Braves defeat Chowan. It's win number 20 on the season for UNCP baseball. They improved to 20-8 on the season, and Chowan falls to 10-17. The Braves are on the road for a little while now. They'll be back at home on Friday, April 1st at Sammy Cox Field. This weekend, they're on the road taking on Young Harris. Next broadcast on the Braves Broadcast Network is tomorrow afternoon. UNCP softball hosting Limestone, 4 p.m., the start of a doubleheader. We will see you then, Brave Nation. For our entire broadcast crew, including my broadcast partner, Annabelle Russell, this is Cameron Songer saying thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. The final score one more time, Braves win 11-5.